Good morning. Happy Friday. I hope you're all feeling good today. Let's see. So, we're almost done creating the assessment. Uh, just sort of looking at this morning before we streamed. We got the many-to-many assessment done in the book side, and so now I want to do the same thing from the author side, which is, I mean, it's really the same thing, but it's repetition. Repetition is good. So let's go over and do that. All right, so we want test authors. Okay, so that's the end of the test. So we'll start a new one here. Oh, weird. Okay. How did I do that? What did I end up doing? That's weird. Okay. Hand it the pool and clone inside of here, and then I can await. Hit dot by accident, and that like duplicated a bunch of stuff. Didn't want to do that. Okay, so we have seed. Okay, so we run the seeds. Then I just want to do the get. So do that. This will be authors equals, and so we know it impulse something iter, so I should be able to iterate over it. So authors equals, we'll just do get all authors with books. We'll hand it the reference to the pool and then nothing else. We can await question mark u. That should get us an authors. We should be able to iterate through it now. Oh, we should also check the length of it, I suppose. So, I need to get the test authors. Okay, so make sure that they're all the same. Then, okay, so once I make sure that the length is the same, we're going to loop through the, let's loop through the test authors. So that gives me a test author. I want to now get the test authors out of authors. I wonder if I should do a find. Well, no, I could probably do a get for this. So we'll get by a reference to test author.author ID. We should be able to unwrap. Okay, so now we have an author. I want to assert that the author's, I guess, like ID, name, and then the books are all the same. So let's see. I suppose that if I do it this way, it actually doesn't work the way I want it to. I need to do the loop through the other way because it implements iter. So I probably do want to do something like for authors, for author. All right. I think if I actually do the thing first, it'll be a lot easier because this thing doesn't exist yet. So let's go fix that. Okay, so remember that we don't want to create like a new author like this. We probably want to create a new struct that's author with books. So I have our author ID, which is an author ID. And that'll just be the simple book without the authors in it. Otherwise, this ends up becoming a very infinite recursion. So we have to make sure we avoid that. We can create a type here. So the return type, we're going to do that hash map. Okay, so that gives us our authors. We need to do the query to get everything, which means I need the join table one too. Now I could just grab this from the other one because that one does exist and it's going to be the same no matter what. So I'm just going to use that type here. Stacking, hello, good morning. How are you doing today? Okay, so that'll be my join here. We'll get that. We will fetch all. You're upset because connection refused. Right. That's kind of important. Kind of need to start the database. Okay. You don't have where to find this. Book author. Okay, so we need to go find you. This is create books, so it's in here somewhere. Oh, is it a private type? It might be a private type. There we go. All right, so what are you upset? You're not upset anymore. Okay, perfect. So we have you, we have our book authors. Unused variable, but you don't know what that is. That's fine. You'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so we take our book authors, we have everything together. Now we need to create the authors, which means we need to loop through the book authors. And we are fetching all, so that should be a vec already of book author. So perfect. So for we need to create let so we're gonna do that entire insert thing. Give me author. Oh no, it's gonna be authors. What am I doing? Authors. We want to entry this. It doesn't remember what this is, or it doesn't yet know what that is, which is a little bit concerning. Mismatch. Okay, so we wanted that. Okay, we're happy you still don't know what you are. Let's try restarting the LSP. All right. So, well, apparently it still just doesn't know what this is. That's cool. Mike PDX, hello. Good morning. How are you doing today? Are you doing well? Awesome. That's good to hear. I'm doing pretty good. It's Friday. Friday's always nice. Um, I do have like a pile of dishes though upstairs that I need to do, and I'm not looking forward to all the chores. So I might I might just stay up late tonight to do them, so it doesn't impact today, and then just sleep in tomorrow. Just it's Saturday, sleep in day. All right, so okay, so name is gonna be author book name. Wait, did you finally figure out what this was? Hey, it finally figured it out. Nice. Xanax, hello. How are you doing today? All right, so I push you in. You're good to go. And so then I think I can just return okay of authors. Okay. Are you still in check? You're departing tomorrow. Where's that sounds like a lot of fun. From that picture, it sounds like you're just driving the entire way. Sounds like a fun road trip. All right, let's now loop through the authors then. So for author in authors, that gives me, yeah. Ooh, that gives me that thing, which is not quite as easy to deal with. You can get values. So for author and authors.values, that's all I probably really care about. Although the other one, you know what, the other one's gonna be easier. I'll just say, hey, you have to pass in some kind of hash system, B tree map or otherwise. You like the YouTube channel? Thank you. I'm glad it's helpful. I got somebody somebody left a comment and basically said that use my name and John Who's name at the same time, which is like, ooh, to me that's a really that's a big metric. Uh, Stream do liber. Hello, good morning. Sorry for butchering your username. Good morning from Brazil. Fellow Rustation here. Awesome. Well, great to have you here. how is Brazil right now? It's it's springtime there, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's springtime, right? So it should be getting warmer again. So yeah, let's do this again. So we're gonna do for test author in test authors. So we'll have that. So then I want to get the author. Authors. We're gonna get from the test author dot author ID. We'll unwrap you. Okay, so now we have the author with books. Oh, you're from the very south in Brazil. So very cold there, lots of raining. Oh, I guess that's probably like very north up here then. Uh yeah, I've only lived in sort of like the very north part of the United States for like a few years, and yeah, that it's like a joke about how you just get well, actually back then the joke was you get rusty. You just rust. So hopefully you don't you can you survive the wet and the rain, and then you get the nice sun eventually. Okay, so we get our author, um, and then I want to. Okay, then we just do our inserts. So inserts equal that the test author, um, cold raining, everybody pissed off. I can understand what you're trying to say. So your English is good enough for communication. All right, so let's see. We could just do everything, right? So we have author ID, and that is author dot author ID. We have name. And then books. So books we have to loop through. Oh, but we don't even have the books in here, so we have to fix this. So create test authors. We'll need this to be test author with books in here. And I was thinking more about it. I don't actually think I need to set any of these to be public. I think that's perfectly fine because it's all in the same module, so I can access all the fields in here. So author ID, we have name, string, and then we have books. It's gonna be a vec of test book probably. Oh, but test book now. So you need. Wait, no, wrong one. I want to go to test books. You need to be public. You probably need to be public in here. Oh, no code actions to pull that in? What are you upset about? Uh, I guess it would be helpful if I spelled that correct. Now what? Struct test author with books. Expected one of found test author with books. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Oh, okay. I didn't save it. That's what I did wrong. Oh, but you don't. Okay, so fine. You don't know how to pull that in. It's a sibling. Oh, it's a sibling. So it's not easy to pull it in. Fine. I'll just create my own test book here. And I don't necessarily want to mod it from here. So yeah, I'll just we'll just create a test book. It'll be fine. I mean, it's pretty simple. Okay. Test author with books. We're gonna use this here now. Okay, so if we go down to, I don't think any of them are that long because the authors are all pretty short. So now we can do books. And then these will all be individualized. Okay, so Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World. Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick. Oh, but these need to be books. Okay, that's not how it works. What am I doing? You are going to be a book, a test book. So book ID, one name is going to be owned. Okay, so that's what we have here. Okay, so then test book 2. This will be Moby Dick. And then you have another book here. Three. Umu. Let's see. Okay. Washington Irving wrote Rip Van Winkle. So that's 4. Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Raven and other poems. And Alistair Thompson and Emily Sinclair both wrote the same book. Okay, so that should be good for this. We have errors. Oh no, what did I do wrong? I messed up something. Stream, you just end up here on your channel. I was looking for Rust content. Somebody building something. What a great find. Thank you. You never actually used Twitch. Your account is from a time when you're in CSGO, when you were a CSGO pro player. Awesome. So how are you enjoying Rust? Thank you very much, stream. I do find it interesting. So like the few times, so like back when I was teaching in a classroom, every once in a while we get somebody who is like a pro something coming through and it's like, okay, I'm changing careers. We're becoming like a software developer. And it was always interesting to see like what was their profession. So I've gotten in my classes I got two. I got professional poker player and I got professional ping pong or table tennis player. Those were interesting. It's been a difficult journey coming from JavaScript and TypeScript. It's I think if those are the only two languages you sort of know, then yeah, I can see how it can be difficult because they're like I guess tell me what's been the most difficult for you? Because I have like the most difficult what I think it would be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I failed to close all of these. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, so um I don't know how to close the current view. That quits. Close the current buffer. Close window. Space W control Q. Space W Q. What? Space W. Ah, that's what it is. Okay, so space W Q. You're lucky that you got a college degree. You remember some C that you were obligated to learn. Did you get into like the memory management part of C? Because like sometimes we found that that part for some reason makes it a little bit harder too with Rust. Okay, what did I do here? Okay, so here's the close that. Here's the test book with that. Okay, so I think I successfully did the first one. I successfully did. No, I didn't successfully do this one. So the first one successfully done. The second one, I have test book here. And then I don't close it off here. So test book. Okay, so open here. Okay, so now maybe you're happy. So same problem. Okay. Easy when there's only one, which I think there's only one on all of them now. So when I was copying and pasting, I just pasted into the wrong place or just did something wrong. But okay. Mismatched types. Okay, so you're upset. Expected test author found test author with books. Oh, can I see where? Oh, I can't see where it's referenced. Oh, this thing right here. There we go. That makes you happy. Okay, no more errors there. Everything's fine. Yes, that fundamentals part is what helped me somewhat, but it was a complete change. 4 years of front end. It's now having to learn back end, real software architecture. sorry, front end bros. The I have found though that like more and more recently, there's a lot of like really complex software architecture you need on front end, especially with like applications and other stuff. Um, it's getting more and more complicated up there on the front lines. Okay, so okay, so create test author. So up here, we have our test author with the book. So now, okay, now we have the test books. I want to loop through the test books and verify that we have them in the books. So we want to do find probably because I don't want to require a specific order. So for test book in test author dot books, let's do a find. So let book equals maybe author books iter. I need to do an I just need to do an iter. Do a find. So book dot id is equal to test book dot book id, and then we'll unwrap you, and now we have a reference to a book. So now we can do more asserts. So we'll have test book. You agree, but you're enjoying understanding why people used to make fun of front end. Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where like programming is programming and complexity is now everywhere. So like I've never understood the entire making fun of like another ecosystem because you think that it's easier. It's really it is hilarious to see somebody with a only backend experience attempt to do something on the front end while still making fun of the front end while also not being successful at making a good front end. It's a really one of those like, okay, is the cognitive dissonance going to kick in anytime, or are you going to admit no? Okay, you're going to double down. Okay, fine. Okay, so we have our book ID. Joey, hello. How are you doing today? Our book ID, and then we have book ID. Search book ID. We're going to change that to now name. And that's it. We have now verified. Oh, I probably want to test the lengths of these. So assert equal test author books dot length is equal to author dot books dot length. National holiday where you live. Oh, very nice. So you get to rest until Monday. 3-day weekends are the best. Okay, so I think we're good. So I should be able to run this as a test. Cargo test. Where am I? Oh, I'm nowhere near this project apparently. We'll try that there. Going to be programming a bit of Java this afternoon for degree practice. Nice. How are you enjoying Java? I assume you're using modern Java, right? Because that would probably be a much different discussion if you didn't have all the nice new things. All right. Test auth ID is never used. Really? Does this not count? Test author ID. You don't count? Oh, because I have test author with books. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I have another. Should create an author. Hey, let's just add an assert in here just to make that warning go away. So this is the created author dot author ID is equal to created author ID. There. Now you're all happy. It's a cool step up from pseudocode, but you miss your more procedural languages. Can't you these days program Java in a pretty procedural way? Now it's been a long time. It's like I basically my only experience with Java is either being really upset at it as a systems administrator when I'm having to patch all the bugs in the JVM uh, that they kept on coming out with, or debugging and helping students with whatever Java projects they have. So I never like wrote anything. But I've been exposed to it. And the old Java is the one where it's like, oh yeah, yeah, it happens all the time. You're having to learn Rust because other employee backend since he wouldn't. You're writing better TypeScript code because of this learning. Yeah, that's something else I've noticed is that if you learn Rust, I mean really what it is like the more languages you learn, it gets better. You're a gamer, so my I would use the idea of if you play if you play like an off character, like your non-main, then like you go back to your main and you're better because like you just have more game knowledge. And I think it's the same thing with programming here. It's like just more programming knowledge makes us better. Okay, so we've got all this stuff. We've got all of our assessments. We're assessing. Okay, so that's good. We have our connection assessment in there. So I think the last we need to document this and create a yeah. I think it's really gonna be documenting. So all right. So I probably want to document this in the other functions, which I do want to exist. before, okay, so maybe before I delete anything, we'll document stuff. So this will be, we'll go to, oh man, there's so much part of this. Because like it's a pretty big assessment. So first step is to create, so step one, I believe, is going to be to create the migrations. So those won't even exist at all. Hello, Stacking. I already said hi to you. You were here earlier, but hello again. Your hope that everybody's having a great Friday the 13th. Is it the third? Oh, it is the 13th today. It's like one of those things where I just never don't notice it because I don't know if I actually pay attention to like the 13th days. Will be possible to buy it. So I'll probably be doing a trial run first. So I'll probably be doing through Discord and just saying like, hey, who wants to like, do a trial run with this? Like, here's like, here's like a link to buy just for you. And then once we go through that and like I make sure that everything's actually working the way I want it to, then I'll probably open it up more. Sometimes English expressions doesn't mean what you're actually thinking. Oh yeah, I tried. I think it's something I learned when I was teaching is like to be more, I don't know, like precise, simple. I'm not sure exactly what the right words are for like to be to not be clever essentially. Simple programming, simple words, like basically like make it so that way everybody can try to understand it. And it's not about me trying to like, hey, I'm really smart, I figured out this way to explain it. It's more like, hey, no, let me try to like help you understand this thing because like these are complex topics. Okay, so migrations are first. Let's I guess what we could do is we can open up, this would be a SQLx assessment article. Oh yeah, and I'm experimenting with creating a window that's just covering me like that. So that way like I know that everything in this main window you can actually see. All right. Okay, we do this, we go through, here's like the authors. Okay, so seating. Okay, so step we need the following tables, we do all that stuff. Okay, so seating, skills with migrations, grading rubric. Okay, so there's, okay, to pass the assessment, you will need to do the following things. So perhaps like before even connecting to the database, we need to create migrations or use migrations to create the tables as written above in the database. So that's step one. You're interested in buying this beta version of the course. You're defining every production Rust that you can. Yeah, there's not too many of those yet. Although I'm guessing that's going to slowly start changing as more and more people who know how to teach are getting into Rust. They'll start creating content for it too. Okay, so use migrations to create the tables as written above in the database. So then create seeds. Now I need the seeds to be in run, so I probably want to, okay, so use migrations to create the tables as written above in the database. So complete the seeds workspace module so that the database will be seeded. So if we come here in seeds, so we have seeds main. Now I'm expecting, okay, so I'm going to need them to connect elsewhere. Should I make them do it here too? I could. All right, so seeds. Let's see. Connect to the connect to the database and pass the pool into and I guess I can run the seeds function. Okay, so connect to the database and run the seeds function in the lib.rs file. So all this will be deleted, and that's where, like, this is gonna be like step 2 essentially. Okay, so then we're gonna go to lib, and we have seeds. So run seeds. Okay, so fill out the run function so that it will run. It will like insert. It will execute the SQL execute the seeding. So the seeds. About the run function to execute the SQL files. I guess like just insert. So seed the database with the provided data. With the data to data. I don't know. Like when there's not a lot to write, I have like a lot of trouble figuring out what to write. It's like just create it, do it, do the thing. You know what to do. Except I don't know if they know what to do. Fill out the run functions that will seed the database with the data defined in. Let's create a README, and then I'll also put the data and stuff in there so that I can reference that as opposed to referencing just the course itself. Elias, hello. How are you doing today? Fill the wrong see the database with the data defined in the README. Okay, so do I do this with like slash? I don't think I do. So where am I? I'm in seeds. Oh, but I'm in here, so I can create a README. I could create a README inside of here. So we go to seeds. Touch readme.md. Okay, so I'm in. Come on, go there. Do the thing. So I'm in here. So I want to go to up one, readme.md. Okay, I think that works. Doing good, Elias. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Stream, you use VS Code. You're getting really getting upset with the infinite inlay hints or warnings of dead code that actually aren't dead by Rust Analyzer. Yeah, it sometimes is quite annoying. There's been a few times where I'm like, look, I know that there's gonna be dead code here. It's gonna be fine, and then I just like put the allow. Do you know how to do the allow thing to like tell it to just like ignore it? It's basically the same as doing like the inline hints for like ESLint. To say like, yeah, I know that I told you that I want camel case for all the types, but this one has snake case, and I want you to be okay with it. Fortunately, you don't have the skill to use these type of editors. It takes a little bit of time to get used to. I think the sort of like the mindset to have for these type of editors is that it's really like a language on its own. So the editor has a language of what is it called? It's a language of shortcuts. That's pretty much what it is. You have the language of shortcuts when you're in command mode, and then you just have normal editor when you're in insert mode. And so if you think of it in that way, it might help. But then, of course, that means you're learning another language. And everybody I know who uses Vim is using it now or able to like transition over back into it because they used it a long time ago. That's when they first learned it. You do it often, man, but it's annoying. Do you know the one where you can do it for the entire file all at once? It's like if I do let thing, and I don't, I guess like let thing equals 42. You're upset. And so if I come up to the top of the file, now I have to remember exactly what it is. I think it's like that. Allow dead code. Okay, so it's not. There's a bang in here somewhere, and I forget exactly where it is. Nope, it didn't like that at all. Wasn't it right here? You think it's allow? Oh, like this? Nope, it didn't like that at all. Not that. I thought it was outside of here. Like that. Okay. Well, wait. Why are you still upset? Oh, because it's not dead code, it's unused variables. That's why. Haha. Yeah. Unused variables. Okay, yeah. So you could do this. That way it's not like it's not everywhere, but it's also like I mean, you just have to do once per file then, as opposed to all over the place. I guess like that's slightly better, but yeah, it still sucks. All right. Seeds. Okay, so fill out the run function. So seed the database with the data defined in the README. So we're gonna try that. It's success. Okay. So then basically, I'm just going to delete all of this. And that's what we're going to have with. Don't worry about it. It's part of like the live stream thing is getting distracted. Like to me, I'm sort of like imagining this is like this feels very similar to like mob programming on a team. Yeah, we interrupt each other all the time, but we also get stuff done. Like it's a combination of both. Okay, so run seeds. So complete the seeds module so that the database will be needed seeded. Okay, so I wonder if I want to actually do something like seed the database. Create seeds. So create seeds. The automated let's see. So connect to the database in the main.rs function or file. Fill out the run function in the lib.rs file. Okay, so that's the seeds. Nathan, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so that's those two. You know what I should do? I should like, it might actually be easier if I just delete this and just like, okay, this is my solution. We're gonna go with that. So let's. Fine. The ultimate get add. Okay, so this is basically ready to basically it's just like finished solution. And I'll go ahead and push that up so that way I have everything up there. And then what I want to do is I want to get switch, create a solution branch. I'm going to push that up. I want to get switch back to the main branch. We're up to date. Okay. Now we can start pulling things around. So connect to the database and run the seeds. So that means this is going to start looking like this. So I'm going to remove all of you. So I don't need that part. So like connect to the database and run the seeds and run the seeds function in the lib.rs file. Okay. You're doing well so far. Pushing some Kotlin code. Wish it were Rust. It's like we can't always get exactly what we want. It's like what I often say is there's the code that we write for the code we want to write, and there's the code we write to get money. Sometimes it overlaps, not always though. Here's a link to the Discord stream. Yash, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so there's you. Let's head into seeds library, and then it's gonna be the same thing here. So we want to create all view, except I need to actually like not overdo it. delete you, and we'll throw in a to-do so it doesn't error out. Okay, so fill out the run functions that will see the database with the data defined in the README. And then, okay, so we're gonna have the README over there. So that's good. Right. So then you're happy here. Let's we'll take in a pool. That'll be fine. So I think everything will be fine here for that. So then we have that. So let's create the let's build out the README. So seeds for the SQLx assessment. Yeah, she just came and you heard we write code for money. Quite a good start of stream. I mean, yeah, it's writing some of us are able to write code for money, some of us write code for fun. Some of us, don't really code at all, but it's all good. I do write code for money. I got paid the other day. I got my first paycheck as the new contractor role. So happy about that. Um, it's I'm trying to think like am I fully profitable yet in Brooks Builds because of that? I don't think I am. I think one more paycheck and I will be though. I need to review that. Now, no, it's not a Rust related job. What happened was it's kind of funny because my day job that I was working at full time, that got changed ownership, and so now my new day job, Unreal Realities with a tier 1 gift sub to Nessizer. Thank you so much, Unreal Realities. Also, welcome Nessizer for a to the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, what was it? It's because of that, I took the opportunity to sort of move to a part-time role. So instead of working full-time with them, I'm now working part-time. So it's like a mutual decision of like, okay, well that, they don't want to spend too much money on like having a developer, and I'm perfectly happy like focusing more time on Brooks builds and these courses. So it's like, okay, work 25 hours for them. It was determined that it would be easier for them to do that as a 1099. So I'm a contractor now, and I just had it go through the Brooks Builds project. So now I'm 100% with Brooks Builds. So I found like that's humorous to me. I do make a lot more money with them than with Brooks Builds right now. But hey, once I start selling some courses, like we'll see. Like I should probably create some graphs, and then I can like see like, okay, I want to see like can I catch up? Because if I can, then like one day I can go full time on like making these courses and selling them and doing other fun stuff with all of you. So it's the dream. One day, one day. All right. So seeds for the SQLx Rust assessment. What does this mean for us? We want to. Okay. So the automated, so like the tests for this assessment require that the seeds are created. The test for the assessment require that the seeds require that the database is seeded with the following data. Thank you, stream. I believe that too. I believe that too. Okay, and then we're gonna have books, authors, book authors. And we have that. Yeah, we have these CSV files here. So I can actually just copy this in here. Okay. Then authors will be the same thing. Oh, wait, that was authors. Okay, so books, authors, and then book authors. Okay, there we go. So create that, and then we can say the test for this assessment require that the database is seeded with the following data. Please do not try to create a script to convert the CSV to SQL statements. This course is testing that, or assessing. I like assessing as a word more. I feel that I don't know about outside of the US, but in the US, the word testing can cause people to revert back to like second and third grade when like, oh, here's a pop test or pop quiz. Like quiz and test are like really, really dangerous as a teacher these days. Cause like it will just make everybody like go like, I'm a child and I'm about to be made fun of because I didn't know math or something like that. And it's like, it's rough. A lot of people were traumatized in school in America. Well, I'm trying to work. Don't scare me like this. Yeah. No, it's the same thing. Like as uh as a manager, as a manager, we can't use red ink anywhere because people will like you're grading me. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not grading you, but you're just so everybody's so used to like red being wrong. You were wrong on it. All right, so please do not try to create a script to convert the CSV to SQL statements. This course is assessing your ability to use SQLx with SQL and Rust. We recommend you writing like just like hand writing the SQL like the SQL yourself. Like there's not that many things here. You can do that. Do you want to take like long-term bets? I don't we don't have a way. Like stream predictions don't work over like months. But it would be funny if like there was some way that we can do that where like okay, well how many people over like the first month of this being existed will like come back and say, so I spent a week trying to create that because you told me not to, so I took that as a challenge, and now I'm stuck. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry. We the people from another culture kind of doesn't understand what's going on in the States these days. I think it's the same thing too, because like our news doesn't really tell us much about what's going on outside of the States either. And even if we do get news about outside the States, I don't know how much I can trust it because I think it's mostly biased towards just a variety of opinions that I don't know what they are. So we're fairly ignorant of how the world is working. But was it I'm happy to explain what I was talking about with the education thing. Was there something specific about that? And I'll I'll explain as best as I can. Okay, so we're gonna do yourself, blah blah blah. Okay, okay, so then we give them this. Okay, so with this being written, we can now, we're going to go back. Okay, so I need the seeds to, we're going to go into seeds. I now can remove authors.csv, book authors.csv, and books.csv. It looks to us that teachers are in a tough spot these days in US. Absolutely, yes. Although it's hard to say these days because they've been in a really tough spot for many years. Um, so we have something called standardized testing, which is basically the the central government of the United States decided this is what like a student from the like these different grades are supposed to know by the end of that, uh, and therefore test it, which is like from on paper it sounds like a really good thing. The problem is does it does get a little bit odd, and then what ends up happening is that they then followed up by saying if your students do well with these tests, you get more money as a school. If your students do less well, we give you less money as a school. I know that feels backwards, but that's how it is. So what happens is now the people who are running the schools go to the teachers and says, "You better have all your students pass them, uh, and get really good grades on these tests. So you teach to the test now." But they don't really know exactly what's on the test. They just know the topics. So teachers now teach what's the topics on the test rather than what's like will actually prepare the student for living in the country or like knowing what's in the world. Like none of our tests are really about things like um, name all the countries in like Europe or like heck, we're in the United States. We should be able to name countries in just the Americas, but that's not important, at least according to the tests. So that's really like the core problem that it like that incentivization just sort of sets a lot of things and make things really really hard. Uh, and then of course if you like start losing money, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So basically, it's some always get better, others always get worse. It's like retro feeding feedback. Unfortunately, that's like what ends up happening, and then it's an unfortunate and uncomfortable truth that most of those are for like the poorer areas get end up getting less money and then less money again and less money again and over again until it's basically they're getting donations and a small amount of money, and so the people in poorer neighborhoods who are going to the poorer schools end up getting less quality education than people who are going to the richer neighborhoods and the richer schools, and it really sucks. I could understand exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, it's not a good situation, but there's not an easy fix for it either. So it's one of those like, this is gonna suck. Um, so for me, I've never taught kids. Like I've always done teaching for adults. So like I I I'm not very good at that. I know a lot of teacher people who are teaching kids, and it's rough. It's really hard to do. There's so much pressure to perform, and then also you have a bunch of kids that are all like, it's not their fault, but it's not like they're gonna be like any nicer to a teacher, uh, simply because like the situation sucks. And so I don't know. There's this also thing like in the United States where teachers aren't really. This is something I got from teacher friends of mine who used to be teachers and exited out, so it might be slightly biased. But there's this, and you can actually see this in like Facebook posts and some LinkedIn posts. There's this almost a feeling of you're supposed to martyr yourself. You're supposed to sacrifice yourself as a teacher for the kids. Like if you make a lot of money, then that means you don't actually care about teaching. And so therefore you should be happy that you're not making enough money to actually, survive. Um with only one job, and you have to work two jobs to be a teacher in the States. It's like, what? And then the teachers then burn out, obviously, and they quit. I don't know if it's true anymore, but back a few years ago, the average tenure of a teacher in the United States was like 1 year, maybe slightly more, possibly slightly less. It's not good. All right, I think I mentioned in here. Okay, so you can find the data seed at, and then we change this. So it's now tree, GitHub. Uh, Wait, that might actually just work. In the seeds readme. Okay, so then seeds, tree, main, and then seeds. That might load the readme in GitHub. So that might just work. Okay. Okay, so then we've removed those. So we have just queries. So basically, okay, so then I want to remove RF the queries. So that way you're forced to sort of like write the SQL yourself. So we remove those. We have the cargo to toml. So I think having everything already installed in there, I think is going to be fine. Is that true? Do I want to also make sure that you have to install all the stuff yourself too? I think it makes sense to not force you to have to install them over here. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so table, the readme, and then we have the lib and then main. Okay, so I think we're good here. Okay, so we're gonna commit. We're gonna say prepared seeds for assessment. Okay, so that's gonna be green rubric. Okay, so create the seeds, connect to the database in a main.rs file. We need to create the seeds. So create the seed queries, given the with the given data, with the provided data. Fill out the run function in the lib.rs file to like run the queries. Okay, there we go. So that's good there. Then after creating the seeds, connect to the database in the lib.rs function. So, okay, so we have, migrations. We want to remove those. Remove migrations. So they have to create that themselves. I'm leaving the .env example in for them, so they can just easily copy that over. But they still have to copy and remember to do it. Checked it out. Did I accidentally commit that? I may have accidentally committed that. Git remove check.out. Yeah, okay. So let's okay. There's a I have to remove it in a cache too, right? I have to git remove like cached or something like that. Check that out. Okay, I don't remember the command anymore. But if it comes back, I'll deal with it then. Okay, so let's see. So we have that. So we can run. Okay, so seeds are set up like that. We have to create the migrations. Source. Okay, and then the tests are good as they are. So then the next thing is, okay, so in source, we have our library. This will be like complete this function so it connects to a Postgres instance and returns the pool. So for testing purposes, we're creating a the PGP pool. So the what is it called? The PG pool options. Okay. So the PG pool options have already been created for you. All you need to do is configure the connection. If you want /need and connect to the database. Okay, so this is going to return a pool postgres. So I'm just going to remove all of these and replace this with a to-do. And then you're gone. You're gone like that. And then I'll leave, well, we can underscore these. So that way, we'll underscore these. That way we don't get any warnings or errors. So that we can like double check that everything's still okay. The product we're building here at the company is an API with hundreds of thousands of registered products. It checks their tax classification. Our main clients are supermarket chains. We have in-house accountants who make corrections when the government makes changes to the product taxes. This might sound strange to you, but each Brazilian state has its own tax system, including interstate taxes. Additionally, there is no value-added tax. There are approximately 20 different types of taxes. Rust was the chosen language for performance reasons. That makes a lot of sense because you have a lot of math to do and like a lot of like sort of number crunching and other things. So yeah, any kind of language like Rust is going to do really good with that. Also, anytime you want to do something with money or taxes or anything else like that, you kind of want to make sure that it's like as memory bug free as possible. That's a kind of a thing. In here in the States, every single, so we have a federal tax. So at the federal government, so we have taxes. And then if you do work in any state, you also owe taxes to the state that you worked in. So for example, I live in Colorado, so I have to pay taxes to the federal government at the end of the year and 4 times a year. And also the Colorado too. There was like a time where I worked in California and Colorado, and like technically like Oregon, and that was a long time ago. And that I had to pay state taxes for all of those, but only on the money you make during those times. So you have to keep track of it. Or if you have like most companies, if you work for them, they'll keep track of it for you. But now that I'm a contractor, I have to keep track of that myself, which is fun. Lots of fun. Ryzen Ninja, hello. How are you doing today? So it sounds to me like we have a similar situation that you have. And of course, all the tax laws are different per state. Because why wouldn't they be? Are you doing awesome? Great. That's good to hear. Oh man, it's after 8:30 already? Oh man. Time is flying. Okay, so we have marked you as complete. Okay, so we've got you set up and going. Okay, so we're good to go here. So let's quit out. Okay, so for you, we are preparing. So I guess we prepared, like the library file. It's the main library file for assessment. All right, let's go ahead and push that up because I have to head to my day job, pretty soon. Because even though I am part-time, I still have, I still like, I'm trying to like, I want to schedule so that way I can like schedule the stream around that. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's always nice to be Friday. Even though the weather is getting a little bit colder here, I get to sit here with my heater, and Zilby usually joins me because then it gets really warm down here, which is always nice. All right, so there's not too many of us here. We'll just go ahead and end. I will be back this afternoon. So I'll be back at 2:30 p.m. for a 2.5-hour stream to basically continue working on this. We're gonna get as far as we can with cleaning this up and getting it done. I would love to next week figure out the get all the stuff, get it loaded up into the LMS, get everything sort of like tested going in there, and then actually start like scheduling and getting like having some people run through this. So we'll figure that out. Okay, Rise by and also Stream. Great meeting you too. And thank you for everything. Thank you for the conversations, everybody. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your Friday, and I will see you next time. Bye.